Okay, hold on. Somebody just woke up to the truth of what you mean to them. Like, really woke up. I don't mean they had a cute little dream about you or saw your name on a license plate and thought, oh, number. I'm talking about a spiritual slap to the soul. Like, their entire perspective just cracked open like lightning hit them right between the eyes. Something clicked. They saw you. Not your Instagram, not your hair, not the way you walk. They saw you, your energy, your truth, your impact, and it shook them. So yeah, if you've been feeling a weird wave lately, like out of nowhere your chest got tight, your mood flipped, or you started thinking about somebody you hadn't in forever, for no reason at all, baby, that wasn't random. That was a soul ripple. Okay, let's breathe for a sec. If you're already feeling this message in your body, if you know this is your word, go ahead and press that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget the bell icon, especially if you're ready to finally receive what's meant for you. I swear these messages be finding the exact people at the exact right time. So if you're here, it's not by accident. Welcome home, love. Okay, now let's get into what I saw. So I'm sitting this morning, right? I made this oat milk matcha, way too much honey like always, but I was in my romanticize my life mood. Got my candle, got my journal, and then boom. This vision hit me. I saw the hanged man. You know that tarot image? The one where he's literally upside down, just chilling, but his head, it's glowing. It's like this radiant circle around it. And he's just hanging there like, I finally see it. That's them. It's like spirit flipped this person's entire mindset upside down so they could see things the way you do. From your lens, with your depth. It's like they weren't ready to understand your soul back then. But now, they're lit up. And not in a surface way. This isn't someone coming back just to play with you. This message, it's for someone who's been waiting, not begging, not chasing, but holding space. You knew this was different even when it looked like it was over. And this part's important. This is not your karmic person from the past. This isn't the one who ghosted and blamed you or breadcrumbed and called it love. Number that chapter's closed. This is someone who either left on neutral terms or things just got quiet. Not toxic, just quiet, still. Like a song that never got its final verse. And now, Spirit's composing the ending. I'm hearing sacred reunion. Phew. That's not a phrase I throw around lightly, but that's what this is. It's sacred. You know those moments where you feel the universe sinking things behind your back? Where you meet someone at the exact second you've healed something in yourself? That's what this is. It's like I'm seeing two puzzle pieces being slid across the table by invisible hands, and I swear, the hands are glowing. It's like angels, spirit team, ancestral guidance, all of it. And here's the crazy part. When I tapped in deeper, I saw you and them as literal gifts. Not wrapped in bows or anything like that, but like glowing figures being handed over, you to them to you. As if the universe was like, here, you've both done the work. You're both ready now. Try again, but this time with clean hands and open hearts. And y'all, I don't even usually channel like this, but the energy came in hot. I even had to pause and make a second cup of tea just to breathe through it. And again, too much honey, I never learn. Ha ha ha. But hear me out. If you're in a relationship right now, don't click out. This message still might be for you. This could be a person right now having a breakthrough, a real one, like looking at you differently, seeing your light more clearly, holding themselves accountable in ways you don't even know yet. Or if you're single, this could be the mirrored energy of the person you're about to meet. Like, they're waking up right now somewhere in this world. They're having dreams about a future they can't name yet, but their soul knows. And your name is written in it. I can't lie. I keep seeing a scene. It's like two people who've been walking parallel roads for so long, finally turning a corner and locking eyes for the first time. But it's not a first time. It's that deep inhale kind of meeting. That, oh, there you are kind of love. Yeah, that. And I don't even think y'all realize how deeply this is being orchestrated. Behind the scenes, your guides have been in full event planning mode. Timing, energy clearing, career moves, spiritual tests, healing triggers, all of it has been syncing toward this moment. And that's why this reunion is sacred, because it's not just two people falling in love, it's two souls returning home. Okay, I'm hearing something else now. It's coming in clear. Do you even understand how rare that is? Like, do you actually get how divinely uncommon it is for two souls like this, like yours, to even exist in the same lifetime, let alone find each other? Because that's what I keep hearing on loop. Spirit keeps whispering it like they don't want me to move on until you hear it. Like, really hear it. Do you know how rare it is for two souls like this to meet? That phrase hit so hard, I had to write it down twice in my journal today, right after I finished spiraling over a text that never came through. You know those moments where you're like, was I crazy or was there something real there? And then boom, that line dropped in like thunder and silence at the same time. And the image that came through, phew, it was wild. I saw your angels, both of your spirit teams, and y'all, they weren't chilling, they were moving. like adjusting puzzle pieces on a table, fixing timelines like threads in a loom, braiding your paths closer together, not forcing anything, just guiding it gently, silently, with that divine GPS energy. It's like, imagine two people standing in different cities, under different skies, drinking different coffee, but both getting nudged at the same time. One gets a random song stuck in their head, the other suddenly feels like cleaning their whole apartment out of nowhere. But it's connected. These little nudges, they're not random, they're soul whispers, spirit gently placing you at the exact right place, the exact right emotional state for the reunion to even be possible. And the crazy part, most of it is happening without you even realizing it. I know, it sounds wild, but stay with me. This isn't just romance. This isn't just about a connection. This is about timing, real divine timing, the kind that humbles you, the kind that reminds you there's a bigger plan you can't manipulate no matter how much you overthink, how many times you try to check their socials, or how many YouTube readings you binge in a single night. And I know you've probably felt crazy at times, wondering if this whole thing is just in your head. Like, why am I still feeling them? Why can't I let it go? But that's the thing. It's not just about the past. It's about the now. The now is sacred because even in separation, y'all are still in sync. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I feel it in my chest. It's like the more you level up, the more they feel it. And the more they rise, the more it calls something out of you. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's subtle, like a whisper in a crowded room. But it's there. Have you ever had a moment where you thought about someone and instantly wanted to become a better version of yourself? Not to impress them, not to earn their love, but because their energy reminded you who you really are? Yeah, that's what this is. When they think of you, they straighten up. They remember their power. When you think of them, you slow down. You soften. You let go of your bitterness and start believing in magic again. You're not trying to fix each other. You're inspiring each other. It's almost like you're becoming better for each other, but separately. Like you're training for a marathon you haven't signed up for yet, but you know one day you'll be at the starting line and they'll be standing next to you, shoes laced, ready. And listen, not everyone gets this. Most people don't even recognize their own patterns, let alone soul contracts or divine orchestration. But you're not most people. You felt the difference in this. You've known it, even when it made no logical sense, even when your friends gave you side eyes or told you to move on. You couldn't explain why you weren't holding on. You were just still connected. And I'm not here to tell you to wait around. That's not what this is about. You're not waiting. You're growing. You're not sitting still. You're becoming. Because what I keep hearing is this. The more you become you, the closer they become themselves. Y'all are like twin suns, burning separately, shining alone, but moving closer in orbit every single day. And I'm not trying to be poetic. That's literally how Spirit showed it to me. They showed me two lights pulsing, one in your chest, one in theirs, glowing brighter, reaching for each other without even knowing it. And when I asked Spirit, what is this? They said, a sacred preparation. A sacred preparation. That's what this whole thing has been. Not punishment, not rejection, just divine choreography. And babe, if you've made it this far, if this message is tickling your soul and pulling you back to memories you thought you buried, you already know what's happening. You're not just manifesting love, you're being shaped for love that can carry the weight of your destiny. And I swear, I don't say things like that lightly. So if you feel them when you wake up, if you dream of them, if a specific song sends chills down your spine every time, just know you're not imagining things, you're syncing, you're aligning, you're being led. And here's the part that gave me chills while I was pouring my third cup of coffee earlier. It's not just about paths crossing. It's not even just about divine timing. It's this. Both of you, right now, are actively manifesting each other. Yeah, that part. You might not even realize you're doing it, but your energy knows, your soul knows. It's been calling them in, quietly, without needing to say a word out loud. It's in the way you've been healing, in the way you've been cleaning up your space, rearranging your room like you're unknowingly making space for somebody else's toothbrush, somebody else's hoodie on your chair, or in the way you've suddenly started showing up for yourself differently, going to the gym not because you want a revenge body, but because it just feels good to move, because your body is preparing for presence. It's like you're in love before love has even arrived. And that's the image Spirit keeps showing me. Someone who's single, but not lonely. Someone who's glowing. Not because someone chose them, but because they chose themselves. You're radiating from a love essence. And this person, they're feeling it, even from miles away. You ever seen someone walk into a room and they're not loud, not flashy, but they carry this aura that makes you stop mid-sentence? Like, that's the energy you're giving right now. That's the frequency your soul is vibrating on. And it's magnetic. That's what makes this connection different, rare, because even in separation, even with distance, both of you are lifting each other up silently, subconsciously, without asking for anything. It's like spiritual weight training. They're your unseen gym partner. And you think of them when you're tired and somehow you push a little harder. They remember you when they feel like giving up and something in them whispers, keep going, they're watching. It's not obsession, it's alignment. And let's talk about this because I know some of you all get nervous when we say the word manifesting. You're like, wait, am I doing it right? Should I be scripting? Should I write their name 33 times with a cinnamon stick under my pillow? No, love, chill. You don't have to do the most. Sometimes just holding the energy of love, even without a name, even without a face, is enough. You're already doing it. Every time you choose not to settle, every time you decide to wait until it feels right, every time you pour into yourself first, every time you say, you know what, I'd rather be alone than be misaligned, you're manifesting them. It's not always about vision boards. It's about energetic posture. It's the way you carry yourself when no one's watching, the way you still make the bed in the morning, the way you still light a candle at dinner, the way you keep talking to the universe like it's listening, because it is. And let me tell you something weird that happened to me last night. I was brushing my teeth, half asleep, and I suddenly got this flash. It was me, laughing with someone I haven't met yet, just laughing. That deep, soul-shaking kind where your whole face scrunches up and your stomach hurts. And I stood there, foam in my mouth, staring at myself in the mirror like, wait, where did that come from? And Spirit whispered, you felt their joy because they were thinking of you. That's how real this is. That's how thin the veil is between you two. And for those of you who are like, but I don't even know who they are, I haven't met anyone yet, you don't have to. The connection is already happening on an energetic level. This isn't about texting. It's not about, did they watch my story or why didn't they reply? This is bigger, deeper, soul work. And yes, maybe you've never touched hands. Maybe you've never looked them in the eyes. But your souls have touched. They recognize each other. That's why it feels familiar even when it's still unknown. Like when you hear a melody you've never heard before, but your heart sings along anyway. That's what this is. So if you've been feeling extra tender lately, if you've caught yourself staring at the moon longer than usual, if you've been walking around your home like something's about to happen, but you can't name it yet, you're not crazy. You're just sensing the shift. And honestly, you're doing better than you think. You've already done so much inner work. You've peeled back the layers. You've cried on your bedroom floor. You've deleted the wrong numbers. You've learned how to love yourself. And now, the universe is responding. It's aligning you with someone who's doing the exact same work on the other side. Someone who's readying themselves for love the way you are. Someone who doesn't need to be saved but is willing to show up. Fully, softly, bravely. So yeah, this is bigger than a message. This is a frequency check. And from where I'm standing, you're right on time. Because somewhere out there, somebody's learning how to love themselves just enough to be ready for a love like yours. And there's just so much coming through right now. Like I literally had to pause mid-recording and just sit with it for a second because the energy got loud, fast. And I'm not just talking about like, oh, they miss you or they're thinking about you. No, this feels bigger. This feels deeper. This feels like two souls that are mid-transformation. And not just like a cute little glow up. No, I mean radical change, death and rebirth kind of stuff. Burn it down to the ground and rise up brand new type of energy. I'm seeing two people. Maybe it's you, maybe it's them, maybe it's both of y'all. Walking away from something heavy, like really heavy, a relationship, a mindset, a habit, a version of yourself you outgrew but didn't know how to let go of until now. And maybe even when you thought you had let it go, you were still kind of carrying the emotional residue. You know what I mean? That invisible weight that clings to your aura like smoke after a fire. You can't see it, but you feel it in your shoulders, in your spirit, in the way your breathing never felt quite full. But something happened, maybe last week, maybe 3 months ago, maybe even yesterday. But something snapped in a good way. Like a final cord was cut. Something you didn't even know was still lingering got released. And that moment, that energetic release, it jumped you. Like boom. You quantum leaped into a whole new timeline without even realizing it. I know that sounds wild, but that's literally how it looks. Like spirit took you and your person who've been walking in different versions of reality and boom, put you on the same frequency. Same track, same speed, same sky. And that shift, it's what allows this reunion to even be possible. Because let's be real, if y'all tried to meet up before this moment, it probably would have been messy, maybe even toxic. Y'all would have triggered the unhealed parts in each other. It would have felt like love but tasted like fear. You know what I'm saying? You would have wanted to open your heart, but your nervous system would have screamed, danger! So this distance, this pause, it's not punishment, it's protection. It gave you space to become the version of yourself that can actually hold what you ask for, that can actually sustain the kind of love you've been praying for on those lonely nights. And that's what I'm seeing right now. Two people stepping into their full essence, their soul truth. You, stepping into your divine feminine, that empress energy, soft but powerful, receptive but not passive, boundaried but not bitter. And them, they're stepping into that divine masculine, that emperor frequency, grounded, safe, protective, focused. And listen, this has nothing to do with gender, okay? Energy is energy. You could be a man embodying divine feminine, you could be non-binary, balancing both. What matters here is that the polarities are finally aligning, that dance between giving and receiving, creating and allowing, pursuing and trusting. It's all syncing now. And it's wild because earlier today I randomly started organizing my kitchen. Like deep organizing, the kind where you're cleaning things no one will ever see, scrubbing corners, lining the shelves. I wasn't even planning to do it, it just hit me. And then I realized that's the energy y'all are in right now. You're preparing your space for something you can't quite name yet. Cleaning up your timeline, clearing out your emotional closet, making room in your life energetically for someone to walk in and not feel like a guest, someone who belongs. You're making space without even knowing why, but your soul knows. And spirit is saying, yes, keep going, you're doing it right. It's like you're watering a garden you haven't even seen sprout yet. You're trusting the process. And that trust, that surrender, that's what moves mountains. That's what bends timelines. So if you've been wondering why you suddenly feel calmer, why you've been sleeping deeper, why you don't cry when you think of them anymore, but you smile a little instead, it's because your body knows something's shifted. And even though nothing looks different yet, everything feels different. And now that you've done that, now that you've stepped into this new frequency, this divine match, this soul counterpart, this mirrored energy, they can find you because they're stepping into their essence too. And spirit is just watching like, finally, they're ready. But let me say this too before we keep going. Just because you're aligning doesn't mean it'll be a fireworks explosion overnight. Sometimes divine matches arrive quietly. Sometimes the biggest shifts come through soft moments, like a text that feels different, a look that lingers longer, a conversation where they finally say the thing they couldn't before. But when it happens, you'll know. Your soul will recognize them. And you'll remember this moment right here where you first realized this separation wasn't a delay. It was the preparation for your divine timing to finally begin. And the thing is, this space, this distance, it wasn't punishment, it was permission. Permission for both of you to stand fully in your own divine essence, but for walking toward each other again. Like, spirit was like, nope, not yet. Not until you both remember who you are. And you've been doing it, slowly, quietly, in your own time, through tears and journaling and late night realizations that cracked you open like lightning. And maybe even in ways you didn't fully notice, like setting stronger boundaries, speaking softer to yourself, or just not replying to energy that doesn't feel sacred anymore. But even in all that growth, there's still that voice, that tiny voice in the corner of your mind, like some cynical little gremlin going, don't get too excited, don't get your hopes up, don't fall for the magic again. You remember how that went last time? And I get it. That voice, it's trying to protect you. It's the part of you that still flinches from the past, the version of you that got hyped before and ended up crying into your pillow wondering, why did it almost feel real? So now, every time something feels too good, your brain steps in like, let's not go there. Like your hope is some kind of dangerous drug. And it sucks because this time, this is different. This isn't the old you hoping from a wounded place. This is the evolved you hoping from a healed heart. But hope is terrifying when your memories are made of disappointment. I had a moment like that the other day. I was watching a reel on my phone, something cute, just two people laughing while cooking together, and I swear my heart felt warm. But my brain immediately went, relax, that's not real life. And I had to stop myself. Like, why am I so quick to believe in pain but I doubt joy? Why do we treat love like it's an exception instead of a birthright? Spirit's been loud about this lately. This next chapter, it's not meant to be navigated solely by logic. This is not your strategic era. This is your heart-led season. I'm not saying throw away your discernment or stop being grounded. Nah, we're still using common sense, okay? You're not out here falling for red flags painted beige. But Spirit is saying, let your heart drive again. You've done enough inner work to know the difference between illusion and intuition now. So why not trust it? Maybe in the past, you needed to micromanage everything. You needed spreadsheets and backup plans and a mental list of every possible outcome because chaos scared you. And uncertainty, don't even get me started. That used to send your anxiety into full spiral mode. But now there's this soft confidence starting to bloom in you. A whisper of, maybe it's safe to believe again. And that whisper, it's your heart. It's been trying to lead you for a while. Even when your mind says, be practical, your heart's like, well, but what if it works this time? Even when your logic says, this is too rare, your soul responds, exactly. Because, yeah, it is rare. miracle level rare, once in a blue moon rare. Universe had to rearrange constellations to make it happen rare. But does that mean it's not real, or does it just mean you're finally vibrating high enough to receive something that's sacred? Let me ask you this. What if the only thing standing between you and your blessing is that voice in your head that says you don't deserve it? What if everything is already aligned and the last step is simply saying yes? Yes to hope, yes to trust, yes to love, without needing a disclaimer. Because what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling right now is this beautiful unraveling. Like the moment you stop running from your heart and actually listen to it. That's when things start moving. And I know, that's scary. Trusting your heart when it's been broken before feels like putting your hand over a flame and hoping it doesn't burn this time. But maybe that's the sacred lesson here. You don't become powerful by closing your heart. You become powerful by opening it and still choosing love anyway. Even when it's uncertain, even when it doesn't guarantee the outcome, even when it scares the absolute hell out of you. Because this right here, this is the moment where your future turns a corner, and all Spirit is asking you to do is follow the warmth, even if your voice shakes, even if your mind tries to drag you back into logic. This time, your heart leads. And if you're feeling that pull right now, if your chest feels like it's expanding even though nothing in your physical reality has changed yet, that's because you're standing at the doorway of a brand new energy, one that's been waiting for you to finally say, okay, I'm ready to believe again. And that's the thing no one really tells you, right? The second you shift into a new energy, even slightly, everything around you begins to reorganize. Not always instantly, but deeply, quietly, subtly at first. Like gravity has been reprogrammed and now your life is orbiting something different, something braver. But here's the kicker. You can't expect newness to arrive while living in old cycles. You just can't. And I feel like that's what this whole chapter has been about for you. The universe is not punishing you with delays. It's just been waiting for you to stop defaulting to survival mode. How many times have we said we want a different outcome, but then we act from the same fears? We want intimacy, but we avoid vulnerability. We want love, but we push it away. We say we want deep connection, but our nervous system still flinches when it actually shows up. That's what this feels like now, a crossroads. And this next move, it's not a logical one. It's that moment in every movie where the main character stares at the edge of the cliff, wind in their hair, knees shaking, heart pounding, and they know. There's no going back. It's a leap of faith, a full body surrender. And not the pretty kind. I'm talking eyes closed, throat tight, stomach in knots kind of surrender. I had one of those moments last week. I was pacing around my apartment, anxious for no reason, holding my coffee like it was a lifeline. And I just said to the air, I'm so tired of pretending I'm okay not knowing. And then I paused. Because that was it. That was the cliff. Not knowing, not controlling, not forcing a timeline, and just jumping. And maybe that's what this connection is for you. It's not about knowing what comes next. It's about choosing it anyway. Even when the odds look funny, even when the logistics don't line up, even when your ego is like, what if you get embarrassed? Even when it feels taboo or messy or so wildly out of character that it makes your old self nervous. Because, yeah, this feels like that kind of leap. The kind where the world might not understand. Where your mind is trying to calculate how to land while your soul is already mid-air whispering, just trust me. I'm seeing this image so clearly, like you're standing on the edge of everything familiar, and the only way to your next chapter is off that cliff. Not a physical cliff, but an emotional one, a spiritual one. One where you let go of what if it doesn't work and start asking, but what if it does? Because the risk, yeah, it's huge. But the reward is the kind of love that changes timelines, not just romance, okay? I'm talking about divine collaboration, and I'm talking about your life folding into another person's life so organically that your healing and their healing create a new frequency on the planet. That's the level we're talking about here, and you both feel it. Whether or not you've spoken about it, whether or not you're even in contact, the mirror is real. They're feeling the same longing, the same resistance, the same fear, and that tiny spark of ridiculous, stubborn, childlike hope. That little voice that says, but I want it anyway. Do you feel that? That's your inner child poking through the cracks in your adult logic. That's the part of you who still believes in magic, asking if it's okay to dream again. And you know what? It is. It's more than okay. Because sometimes the bravest thing we'll ever do is let ourselves be hopeful. Even when history says, be careful. Even when people around you don't get it. Even when your brain keeps demanding a blueprint and all you've got is a feeling. That feeling, it's real, it's sacred, and this leap, you're not taking it alone. I promise you that. Energetically, spiritually, your souls have already locked pinkies and whispered, meet me there. Now it's just about who's brave enough to jump first. And maybe it's you. But let's not forget this part. We all have free will. That's the twist in every soul story, right? The universe can set it all up, orchestrate the most perfect collision of timelines, synchronicities, and divine nudges. But at the end of the day, you still have to choose it, and so do they. Still, there's something about this connection that feels like, I don't even know how to describe it, like two people miles apart, maybe even lifetimes apart, both standing under the same night sky, wishing on the same damn star without even realizing it. You know, when you're lying in bed and the moonlight is kind of spilling through your window and you're thinking of someone, and for no logical reason at all, you just know they're thinking about you too. That's what this feels like. I'm getting full chills even saying this, but it's almost like the cosmos are involved this time. I don't even know what the stars are doing right now astrologically, but it's giving once in a blue moon energy. Like something shifted above us and now everything below has to align. Like there's a timestamp on this moment. You two, you're not just aligned in desire, you're aligned in readiness. And that is rare. It's not one-sided. It's not a situation where one person is chasing while the other is hiding. No, this feels like two souls both whispering the same prayer. Two souls saying, I don't want just anybody, I want them. Two souls brave enough to tell the universe, I'll wait for it, I'll grow for it, I'll be better for it. But let's be honest for a second. That's exactly why your logical mind is panicking right now. That's why your ego keeps interrupting this with, wait, this is crazy. There's no way this is real. You're just imagining things. Because it's rare. And your mind doesn't know how to hold something it's never seen before. But your soul's been here. Your soul remembers. And I'm here to remind you that you are not crazy for feeling this. You are not desperate. You are not delusional. You're simply tuned into a frequency that most people ignore. Because you are rare. And only something just as rare could ever find you, ever recognize you. That's what this reunion is. It's your energy meeting its mirror. And I know you can do this alone. You always have. You're hyper-independent. You've built whole empires with no one clapping for you but the walls. Even when you were surrounded by people, you still carried your battles solo. You were the strong one, the capable one, the one who said, I'm fine even when your soul was screaming inside. And I feel like for a lot of you, there's this quiet fear buried beneath all that strength. The fear of needing someone, the fear of letting someone close enough to see the real you, without the mask, without the armor. Because what if they don't stay? What if you lose yourself again like you did before? What if you start depending on someone and it all falls apart? But baby, this isn't that. This isn't another karmic loop. This isn't someone sent to test your wounds. This is someone meant to witness your healing. And not just witness it, but hold it with you. Reflect it back to you. Support it, expand it. Because this next chapter of your life, it's not about walking alone anymore. It's about partnership. It's about growth through connection. And no, that doesn't mean losing your independence. Like, it means choosing someone who adds to your strength instead of subtracting from it. And that's why this is happening now, because you've done the solo part. You've done the lonely nights, the silent battles, the closed doors, the I got this days when no one checked in. Now it's time for someone to walk with you, not ahead of you, not behind you, with you. Someone who sees all the pieces of you and doesn't flinch. Someone who doesn't run from your depth. Someone who doesn't try to fix you because they're busy loving you through it. So yeah, maybe this connection feels wild. Maybe it feels too good to be true. But what if it's not? What if it's actually just finally right? And what if this whole time you weren't meant to settle, you were meant to prepare? Because I swear it feels like this reunion was written. And now you're finally ready to read it. So here's what's wild. This person isn't just showing up to love you. They're showing up as a form of divine justice. Like the universe literally said, you don't have to carry the weight of this next chapter alone. That doesn't mean you're not capable. It just means for once, you get to let someone see you, like really see you. Not just as strong or resilient or independent, but as a soul, as someone with light and beauty and presence so rare that it stops time in a room. Because if we're being honest, a lot of your past relationships required you to dim your light just to be tolerated. You had to shrink your magic to fit into someone else's comfort zone. You had to act like you didn't know your worth just to avoid making them insecure. But this isn't that. This connection feels like it was hand-wrapped by the universe with a tag that reads, for your soul, from the heavens, because you finally see what you deserve. And isn't it funny how it only showed up when you started treating yourself like a gift? When you finally stopped chasing love, validation, or closure from people who didn't even have the capacity to hold your truth. You know, when you looked in the mirror and said, wait, I'm the one I've been waiting for. That's when the signal went out. That's when your soul called in someone who would see you the way you see yourself. And even crazier, I don't even think either of you fully know what's happening yet. You know, you're both still in the prep phase, still unconsciously grooming your souls, stepping into higher versions of yourselves, cleaning out old emotional closets to make space for something sacred. And yet, even from a distance, you're already inspiring each other to rise. There's a mutual, unspoken activation happening, like your energies met before your bodies ever did, like your hearts made a pact before your eyes ever locked. I get this feeling that in a past version of you, love meant obsession. Love meant self-abandonment. It meant pouring and pouring until you were empty. But this season is different. This season is about balance. It's about holding your center even while your heart opens wide. It's about letting love in without letting yourself go. You're not meant to lose yourself in this person. You're meant to find even more of yourself through them. That's why the love you're calling in isn't chaotic, it's peaceful. It doesn't feel like fire, it feels like home. And still, I know how hard it is to wait when your spirit can already feel them, when every part of you is vibrating with the energy of reunion, but your reality still feels quiet. That's the test. That's the moment where you either spiral into doubt or you choose to romanticize the in-between. This is where you fall in love before the love shows up. This is where you walk around in the vibration of, I already have it. You get your hair done, not because someone's watching, but because you are. You wear that perfume, that outfit, you move with softness, with power, because you know they're on the way. This is how you shift timelines. This is how you prepare your body, your energy, your environment to receive. You don't wait, you become. And I know sometimes the wait feels like a trick. Like you've been doing everything right, so why hasn't it arrived yet? But that's what people don't get. When you're this close to a breakthrough, that's when the shadows creep in the hardest. That's when the doubt, the impatience, the maybe it's not for me thoughts come creeping in. Don't fall for that. That's the vibration test. That's the universe asking, can you hold the energy of belief before the blessing shows up? Because your sacred union is directly tied to your abundance. You can't separate the two. You and this person, when you finally align, it's not just romance, it's empire building, it's purpose, it's legacy. You're calling in a partner that doesn't just love you, they build with you. Someone who matches your grind, your glow, your growth. And together you rise. This isn't just about having someone to cuddle with at night. This is about building generational wealth, joy, truth, healing, and impact. And honestly, that's why it's taken so long. Because the version of you that can hold that kind of love had to be forged through fire. You had to become the version of yourself that doesn't chase, but attracts. The version of you that doesn't beg, but chooses. The version of you that doesn't settle, but magnetizes. You've done that, you're doing that right now. And listen, I can feel your nerves. I know part of you is scared. Scared of the unknown. Scared of messing it up. Scared of it not being real. But that's okay. Fear just means you're at the edge of expansion. And you've always been a risk taker. You didn't come here to play small. You didn't come here to blend in. You came here to love wildly, to build boldly, to leap even when your knees shake. So please, don't let fear stop you now. If you have feelings, honor them. If you have dreams, chase them. If you have a calling, follow it. And if love knocks on your door, don't question it. Let it in. Because this love, this abundance, this next chapter, it's not just happening to you. It's happening for you. Because you finally became the version of yourself who can hold it. And baby, you're ready.